Good morning, Messiah Center. Welcome to day 13 of our 21-day fast. I hope that you all have had a wonderful start to your Saturday morning. I want to go ahead and jump right in because I know it's the weekend. Many of us have probably had busy weeks, so don't want to be before you long. So we'll jump right on into our topic for today. Our topic for today is the curse of credit. And our main point is credit is dangerous. And our pledge is I will review my credit card statements going back at least 3 months and examine my spending on my credit and debit cards. And so to open this chapter, the author starts off with saying credit is evil. And she gives the definition of evil and from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and it states evil as morally reprehensible, inferior, and causing harm. And when you think of it by definition, that is what credit can do for our finances. It can be reprehensible. It can cause us to be inferior and be enslaved to that debt that we collect or that we get into by utilizing the credit cards. And it's causing us financial harm because we're not able to pay our creditors back how we should, and we end up hurting our finances even the more because we're paying more than what we actually borrowed. So as we go through this chapter, she gives several different analogies, and one of the ones that stuck out to me was when she was going over, kind of imagining yourself walking into a casino. And, you see the people sitting at the slot machines or, at the blackjack tables, and you see that they all have, chips or they have special coins that they're using to put in the slot machines. And she was just saying that it's easier for you to give away, little fake plastic round chips that isn't really money than if you were sitting there with a stack of actual cash that you were continuously giving to this dealer and seeing them take it. And so it's the same thing with our credit cards. Even through the book, she goes through how there's been several, surveys and several things where they've gone in and done studies, and they've shown that when we use credit cards, we tend to spend more than we would if we were to purchase it with cash. And again, it just kind of goes to that connection of, oh, well, I'm going to pay it later. So if I go into the store with $50 of cash and that's all I have, that's all I can spend. But if I go in there with my credit card, it's okay if I spend $55 because my credit card will cover it. So even those small amounts, and for those of us who may think that we're great, when it comes to our credit cards, we're responsible. We try not to overspend and only use it for necessities. But if we're realistic and honest, if we went to the store and said, hey, I'm going to spend $50 and the bill ends up being 55, are we really going to be like, oh, nope, I need to put something back because I'm $5 over? We're going to say, oh, that's okay. That's $5 more than I planned to spend, but that's okay. I'm just going to put it on the card. So again, in this chapter, we are learning to be more responsible as well as more aware of how we're spending and our habits. And I loved how she went through and really kind of explained, even in the advertisement that several of our everyday credit card companies have, it's almost like they're shaming us for using cash in their commercials and what their slogans say. It's almost like it's casting shame on using cash, and we perceive that as a bad thing when in reality using cash is the best way to keep us within our financial means and within the budgets that we have set up for our goals and that we're trying to work towards. So, in this chapter, our daily assignment for today is to really go through. She asked us 5 questions. I'm going to go over the questions right here. And it's really kind of to see what our relationship is with our credit cards. So the first question is, how has MasterCard or Visa, become my master? Number 2 is, how would I buy things I need or want if I couldn't use credit? Number 3 is, how has credit card debt impacted my marriage or other relationships? Number 4, how much more would I have in savings if I didn't have to make credit card payments every month? That's a big one. And then lastly, number 5 is, how have I felt since I've had to stop using credit cards for the fast? And so for me in reading, through our daily assignment for today, I have to say that surprisingly, kind of coming into this, I was like, oh my goodness, we can't use our credit cards or anything. Like, I have to just use cash. And it wasn't that using cash was an issue. It's just kind of more of I was thinking of it more as an inconvenience because I never really carry cash. I'll carry a little bit with me just to have just in case, but never much, maybe $30, $50 max at any given time. So I'm like, well, how am I gonna, that means I gotta go to the bank, I gotta withdraw money, but going through, these last 13 days, I've realized that I haven't even really needed the cash that I have, because we're focusing on only our necessities and things that, are essential. And so before we started the fast, I had gone to the grocery store. So we've gone maybe once or twice just to pick up, kind of like fruits and veggies, things that don't last, long term, so that I have to, buy weekly. But outside of that, not going out and, not going to fast food or not spending for entertainment, I found that I haven't even really needed to spend the cash. So even in these 13 days, it hasn't been difficult not to use my credit card because there's no means for me to use it. So it's really helping me, which I hope it's helping you all as well, kind of see, okay, maybe there are times that I do overspend when I use my credit cards or my debit cards just because I'm like, oh, it's okay, I'll cover it when when I pay it off at the end of the month, or however you have it set up. So really, when you're going through this assignment today, again, as I've been saying throughout this, let's be honest, let's be truthful so that we can be better and so that we can be prosperous and move forward and come out on the other end with better finances and being better stewards. So again, we pray that everyone is still encouraged, that you all are still truly engaged and enjoying this. I pray that you are. I am. Our family is enjoying it. Again, if there's any testimonies, anything that you would like to comment, feel free to leave those. We'd love to hear them. We definitely want to be able to encourage our brothers and sisters as we continue to go through these 21 days. We pray that you have a blessed day, and we look forward to seeing you in the house of the Lord on tomorrow.